Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. So we're getting a little bit ahead of the curve tonight, as normally I post these videos the next day. I'm gonna try and post this one up here tonight, as literally just moments ago, the New York Rangers eliminated the Carolina Hurricanes in 6 games of their second round matchup. Really good series overall. I think it would have been nice to see it go to 7 just to see what would happen. The Rangers were up 3-0 in this series. I would say the only game they truly, in those first 3 games, Carolina didn't really show up in game 1. And even in that game, right, if it weren't for the first period, they gave up 3 goals in the first period in game 1. That just really set the tone for this series, and I just don't think Carolina was ever really able to come back from that. They really did. They gave a really good effort, but that first period of game 1, that really sunk the ship pretty early for them. And they fought back really hard. Even in game 2 and 3, they lost both of those games, but they could have won those games. Like, those were toss-up games that just didn't go their way. And then you kind of go down the list. Let's look at some of these games here, and they're showing some of the upset Hurricane fans, which I get. Let me see if I could find it for you guys. Let's break down this series, because I think when you look at I think Carolina was really going to upset the Hurricanes and their fans is they had opportunities here, right? Like game 2, that was a 4-3 overtime win in double overtime. Carolina could have won that game. Game 3, right? 2-2 in overtime, they lost 3-2. So both game 2 and 3, if they had won one of those games, we might be looking at a situation where Carolina had a chance to potentially eliminate the Rangers tonight. That's how small the margins are in the playoffs. And this game and this whole series is a really good example of that. Really, the game that really, really, really hurt was that game 3, that 3-2 victory in Carolina. You were hoping going back to Carolina, you're good until you lose at home. They lost at home in that game, and then they were down 3-0 in this series. And, to give the Hurricanes all the credit in the world, they win 4-3 in game 4, eliminate the sweep, and then, of course, they win game 5 on the road in New York at the Garden, making a 4-1 game. Now, all of a sudden, an interesting series. And then, of course, game 6, which was tonight. Carolina had a 3-1 lead going into the third period, and Chris Kreider just said, I'm going to take care of this one, scoring a natural hat trick, scoring his 5th, 6th, and 7th goals of the Stanley Cup playoffs all in one game. They're throwing hats on the ice at Madison Square Garden, despite no players being on the ice. They're doing the watch party at the Garden, I guess, so that's really exciting. I will say there is going to be controversy, I guarantee you, from the Hurricane fans. And I think they're a little bit right in that. So there was a call in the third period, about halfway through the third period, and what led to Chris Kreider's tying goal, the power play goal to tie the game at 3-3, there was a very questionable cross-check. Now, Zibanejad was facing the boards, and Jordan Staal did technically push him from behind. But the way Zibanejad went into the boards, I think most people, I never took physics. Some of you might have even taken physics. The physics didn't look completely right there. I don't think your body naturally swings into the boards the way Zibanejad did. But they called the penalty. And they called the penalty in a situation that I disagree with. In an elimination game, I truly believe that the officiating aided in the comeback for the Rangers. Now, again, we could sit here and say, well, they should have killed the penalty and this and that. Yeah, right. That's funny. This is how the Rangers have won all season. And you could say that as a knock. You could say that as, as a good thing. It just is. The Rangers, this is how they play. They keep games close. They don't play a full game. I don't think the Rangers, played their best tonight. But at the end of the day, here's where I'll give the credit to the Rangers. You find ways to win even when you don't play your best games. And that was the Rangers tonight. They didn't play their best game. But they played good enough to stay in the game and win the game. And for Carolina, I think they're going to be pretty pissed at Anderson. That second goal, the first goal of the third period here by Kreider, that's one that can't go in. because then all the momentum shifted in this game after that goal. And then the power play comes, and Kreider scores again, and then Kreider scores again. They just completely lost the momentum. And the goal that made it 4-3 is really frustrating too, because Carolina had a couple of opportunities to get that puck out of the zone, and they didn't. There was at least 3 opportunities to clear the zone. They didn't. The puck gets cycled around. The Rangers do their thing, the song and dance. Great play by Lindgren. He literally, coming behind the net, throws it right to Kreider's stick, and he just taps it into the empty net, basically. And Barclay Goodrow seals the deal, making it 5-3. I will say, I think the Rangers did a lot of really good things in this series. We saw a little bit more from Lafreniere. We need to see more from some of the other depth guys on the Rangers, but when you have a game like this for Kreider, that's all you need sometimes. For Carolina, like I said, it's going to be a rough offseason for Carolina, because you're just asking yourself, what else can we possibly do? Like, what else can we muster up to somehow find ways to win? And stop showing the kid crying. That's not... I don't like that. Chances are you're going to lose Brett Pesce this summer. You're gonna have the chance to re-sign Marty Necas. And the biggest thing that Carolina is going to have to decide right now is what they're going to do with Rod Brind'Amour, the head coach of the Hurricanes. They have not re-signed him. They decided not to extend his deal. Was this enough for the Hurricanes to say, here we go again, we need a change? I really wonder if Carolina is going to do something here. And like I said, it sounds silly. I don't know if Brind'Amour is necessarily safe right now in Carolina, and we'll probably find stuff out over the coming days. I don't know what else to say. Really incredible victory, but also devastating loss for Carolina. And, they had a game similar to this in the first round against the Islanders, and unfortunately in sports, that's sometimes how it goes, right? Like, when you're the team that comes back and gets the win, it feels really good. But it hurts a lot when you're the team with the lead that blows that lead in an elimination game. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. And I totally get it. And like I said, Carolina's got a real good team down there. It just doesn't seem like they get it done in the playoffs. For whatever reason that is, I don't know. Like I said, there were definitely things that they definitely didn't help themselves with in this game. I think they're going to look back and say, man, Martinook hits the crossbar in the third period. In the first 5 minutes, makes this 4-1. Are we even talking right now? There was another chance by Sebastian Aho. Had a really good chance. Beats Shesterkin again. Hits the post. Just wasn't able to put it in. It's those little things, those little details for Carolina. They just weren't able to get it done tonight. And ultimately, that is the end of their season. So guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully we'll be getting some clarification on who the Rangers will be playing in the Eastern Conference Final. It looks like it's Florida, but you don't want to jinx it. It could be Boston. And let's put it this way, guys. If I'm a Ranger fan, I'm cheering for Boston. But for the Florida Panthers, I think they're more interested in seeing what they could potentially be going up against in the conference finals. I think they need to get things done tomorrow night. But that's for another day. Guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again next time. Peace out, guys.